Welcome back to Cryptosaurus. I'm George. We're all George. So, happy Friday. Or is it? I have a warning for you guys this morning. Epic Bitcoin squeeze incoming. Is this a good thing or a not good thing? Let's talk about it, and let's talk about what to expect this coming weekend. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. The market bell has rung. I don't have my market bell. I don't know why. But yeah, we're starting off the day a little bit weaker. I noticed that Bitcoin, still hovering around 41,000, not moving so much. There are a few standouts, but overall still a little weak. People are still wondering what's going on. Now, as for ETF news, I mean, it's business as usual. These big guys are just scooping up more and more Bitcoin. That's just honestly the truth. Last night we talked about it. If you think about it, who benefits the most from a drop? Well, obviously, the people that want to buy, right? And the people that want to buy the most are these fund managers like BlackRock and Fidelity and all these guys. That's why they're scooping up. Day 5 was yesterday. They scooped up 10,600 Bitcoin. And you know what? BlackRock is now one of the biggest holders of Bitcoin. But they're just getting started. It's not just them. Everyone else is. BlackRock holds about 1.2 billion worth of Bitcoin now. Fidelity also holds 1 billion worth of Bitcoin. And we're only in the first week, guys. These guys are loading up by the boatload. Here's the latest number. I know that's kind of small to see, but let me see if I can zoom in here. Oh, yeah, I can zoom in a little bit. So you could see on the very left side, BlackRock holds approximately 1.2, 1.3 billion worth of Bitcoin. Fidelity has surpassed 1 billion, a little bit over a billion, right? And then even Bitwise, if you add Bitwise, ARK, and Vesco together, they're certainly close to a billion. So you notice the trend. There's a lot of billions going in, okay? But what's also a trend is Grayscale. Now we're waiting for that to stop. Because if it wasn't for Grayscale selling so much, man, we would have had another $3 billion worth of Bitcoin flow into funds and locked in. But unfortunately, Grayscale is selling by the billions too. They sold approximately 2.2 billion. So we're waiting for that to end. Overall, the net flow in is more than net flow out. So that's good, right? But it's being dampened a little bit by Grayscale. Now, some argue it's not their fault. That if their product is being sold off, then they have to sell off Bitcoin, right? But you know what? It makes me wonder, because they kind of knew that this was happening. And that's why they raised their fees up so much. Their fees are 5 times as high as any other ETF provider. And I think they did that on purpose, first of all, to try to get people to stop for selling, because they have a lot of insiders. They've been operating Grayscale Bitcoin Trust for like 10 years. Or, yeah, something like that. So there's a lot of insiders that want to cash out. So I think that's number one. And number two is, yeah, they just know that ultimately, can they really compete with the BlackRock and Fidelities of the world when it comes to ETFs? I don't know. I think they're thinking it's going to be a very hard challenge. That's why they put their fee up at 1.5%, where everyone else is like 0.3% or 0.2%. Okay. So yeah, so that's still happening. But you know what? Grayscale CEO thinks that not everyone will survive. Hopefully Grayscale does. Hopefully he's not referring to himself as one of the ETFs that won't survive, and defends his highest fees in the industry by saying that, well, because they've been around for a long time, everyone trusts them the most. I don't know if that's true. Maybe Bitcoin people will trust Grayscale more than, say, BlackRock and Fidelity, but everyone else on the planet that's a stock trader, that's an equities holder, that's an ETF holder, I think they believe BlackRock and Fidelity way more than they do Grayscale. So again, this fee notion, why is this so high? Why is Grayscale selling off, right? I think there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things going on. One thing is for certain. These guys right here, okay, these guys on the left side, BlackRock, Fidelity, Bitwise, ARK, Invesco, Franklin Templeton, Valkyrie, Van Eyck, they will continue to load up on Bitcoin, and they will buy and buy and buy and buy and buy some more. So next time you think about why is the Bitcoin market, why is the crypto market going down? If you can't figure out who's selling, just think about who it benefits the most, especially right now. Who benefits the most with Bitcoin being low? Well, it's the ones, the big boys are trying to buy as much as possible, right? It's really that simple if you think about it. Just think about backwards rather than trying to say, well, who's selling right now? Well, how about who's trying to buy right now, right? But anyways, what about the short squeeze that's coming up? Yeah, I said short squeeze, not long squeeze. I purposely made the title confusing to draw all you guys in. But yeah, we got 800 million, close to 1 billion of short positions loaded up right now because, again, everyone thinks that Bitcoin's going to go a lot lower, including Jim Cramer, who I covered last night. Jim Cramer says Bitcoin's going to have a nasty, nasty fall. And that got a lot of shorters worried because inverse Cramer is never wrong when it comes to Bitcoin. But nevertheless, if we go back up to 45,000, all right, and we get some momentum and we get pushed back up, there will be about 800 million in shorts liquidated, and we will have that massive short squeeze once again. Okay, that is around the corner. Again, when in doubt, don't short Bitcoin. The surest way to lose money in crypto is to short Bitcoin. Don't do it. Don't do it. You just never know when Bitcoin strength comes back up, the momentum is back, and then you just get wrecked. If you don't like, if you think Bitcoin could go lower, just you could sell off. But to short it, no good. So that's why I never shed a tear for any shorters that get liquidated. Okay, I mean, if you're long, you get liquidated. Yeah, that sucks. I'll shed a tear for you, but not shorters. Shorters do not deserve my tears. But you know what? A lot of you guys know. A lot of you guys are very smart. Okay, you've been watching me for years. You know the drill. You hold on DCA, right? But it's not just us. It's not just the retail investors. If you notice, people are tracking. There are so many whales that are buying and buying and buying and buying. They're buying the dips. They don't always time it right. Doesn't mean that whales or extremely rich people know when the bottom is. No one knows. No one on Wall Street knows. Any Wall Street guru will tell you. No one knows where the price will be next week or tomorrow. They're just patient. or they manipulate the market. A lot of times the second, the latter. But in this case, this whale who decided to buy about $30 million of Bitcoin, try to time a little bit. But anyways, at this level, why not? 100 Bitcoin there, 250 Bitcoin there, went a little heavier, 350 Bitcoin there, right? That's how you do it. And it's not just this person I saw on Whale Alert, another person that just bought 1,000 Bitcoins off of Coinbase. This was just an hour ago, about 45 million. There are a lot of whales, a lot of people that are buying the dip. It's not just retail investors. They know. Doesn't matter if you have $5 in the market or 50 million in the market or 5 billion in the market. The strategy is the same. You hodl and you buy low, right? Or DCA, whatever it is. Hodl or buy low and sell high. All the investors will tell you that's how you make money by investing. Buy low and sell high. Well, that sounds obvious, right? But it's not easy to buy when things are low. When things are dropping, everyone's afraid. Everyone gets out. And then when the market recovers, everyone comes in towards the top and FOMOs. That's not how you do it, right? So there's these whales that continue to load up. And why do we all continue to load up? Because of this, okay? When in doubt, zoom out. We're still on the right directory, trajectory, not directory, trajectory, and we are about to enter the parabolic bull phase. Okay, that comes in 3 months after the halving event. We know the halving event is coming up. Okay, there's no doubt. There's nothing to go delay it. Nothing. Okay, it doesn't matter about the macro conditions. It doesn't matter about the whales or manipulation or black rocks or whatever. The halving event is set by code. It's going to happen in April. And every time it happens, the parabolic bull stage starts. Okay, and this time around, I think it's just going to be the same. If you look at what happened in 2020, after that nasty COVID dip and we had the halving event happen, we actually waited a little bit. We trended up a little bit and then boom, like clockwork, we just shot up to the moon, right? So if we're following the same trajectory as 2020, it could be the same thing. We have a little pump and then boom, huge trajectory up to the moon, right? That's what we're waiting for. So don't be frightened of the market. You could be disappointed, but make sure you don't get fudded out of the market. Make sure you stay in, stay calm, focus on the future, continue to watch me and subscribe, and I'll get you guys through this. Let those life-changing wealth come to you. All right. Now, outside of Bitcoin, what else is there? Well, there's Ethereum. I don't know. Not one person has ever asked me about Ethereum. I'm just kidding. People ask me about Ethereum all the time, but not recently. SEC is delaying Fidelity's proposed spot ETF to March. I think this is going to keep being, delayed. BlackRock's application, I think, is in August or September or something like that. So it's probably going to be delayed for a while, right? But who knows? Who knows? Now that Bitcoin spot ETFs are here, how long is it going to take for Ethereum spot ETF? Maybe not that long. Maybe it will be this year. Maybe it's next year. And then people are speculating on what's next after Ethereum. Could it be XRP? Could it be Solana? That would be a surprise. I think XRP is more likely to be the next one. But seeing how Gary hates Ripple, and Gary hates Ethereum too. So I don't know how long it's going to take for either one. But Solana ETF, maybe. Right now, as for Solana, still holding. This new Saga Phone 2 is going crazy. 30,000 units sold in one day. Everyone's been asking me, should I buy one? If you're into Solana and you want to get a lot of free airdrops, not that the phone is amazing. Any Samsung phone will outperform Solana's phone, but it's the airdrops, right? Are you going to get some juicy airdrops to make up for it? Well, Saga 1 is now paying, a lot. All the airdrops, not just Bonk, but everything else that you're getting, it's adding up to a lot, to thousands, right? So Saga 2, people think will be the same way. If you want to reserve one, you go ahead and do so, but it's not going to be out for they said 2025, and who knows if it's the beginning or the end. If they give it to you at the end of 2025, that'll be bad, because if the market goes down and then the airdrops become nothing, then of course it's going to suck. But if they could give it to you beginning of 2025, that would be worth it. That would be worth it. I bet if I asked, I could get one. I'm going to ask so I could show it off. Anyways, but speaking of Solana, the one project that's doing well right now is Myro. Myro is still doing well. Even with Bonk, everything else on Solana is going down. The one that's actually showing strength is Myro. It's still up 6% today and climbed even higher. Right? They're 227 million market cap. In fact, last night when I was showing them, they were at 190. So they actually jumped up a lot more than this indicates. Right? So they're on their way to a possible Coinbase listing. It's looking good for them. What else is there? Let's see. Another Solana competitor, Near. They have some news. Near is integrating with Polygon. That's great. No, it's the opposite. Polygon is integrating with Near. Near's data availability integrates with Polygon CDK for Ethereum scaling. So anyways, if you're on Polygon and you wanted a more robust data availability, which is just like storage and data retrieval, you could utilize Near now. So That's pretty good. I mean, they're both EVM compatible. Polygon is layer 2, but it's also layer 1. But Near Protocol is like a mini Solana. I've always said that. It's very similar. So they're kind of moving the same way. And also Near adopted inscriptions recently too. So one of the L1s that one of the many L1s that adopted inscription. So they have their own standard on top of their own, coin. It's kind of weird with inscriptions on top of Avalanche and Near and Arbitrum and all these other chains. It's a little weird. I don't know if it's just a fad or not, possibly. And then speaking of airdrops, a lot of you guys love airdrops, especially the ones from Solana. Now there's going to be airdrop on Near too. So Linear is a big DeFi project on Near, started by the Near early core devs. Okay, so if you've been using Linear, you go get some juicy airdrop. So that's always good. That's good too. All right, I think that's it. Outside of that, nothing else. All right, let's do some Q&A. How do airdrops work? You just get it automatically. And by the way, I saw someone ask about, oh, I got an email saying I'm going to get an airdrop. Airdrops never email you. They don't even know your email. Think about it. Airdrops just happen. If you happen to be using a product, in this case, I just talked about Linear, they already know your address. So they'll just automatically airdrop their token to your address, right? That's how airdrops work. You never have to go to a site to claim. You never have to connect your wallet. You never have to click on an email. It just automatically happens. So you get rewarded, right? Peter's asking, where to buy Myro? Well, you could buy it many places. Radium is the DEX on Solana, and you could also buy an MXC, Bing X, and KuCoin. There's a lot of places to buy it. And if you go buy it on Bing X or MXC, make sure you do so with my affiliate links in the description. But yeah, I think Myro's just, it's really on fire right now. George, did you create Kulo? No, I did not. Moon Daddy, Ramil, he did. But we're close because he's, well, we've gotten closer because he's part of the IFC. He's going to be fighting, actually, Crypto Crow. And he asked me, hey, you want to be part of this? I'm starting this. And, he told me about it. It sounds like a cool meme. So that's how I'm involved. And obviously, I purchased a boatload too. Let's see if I miss anything. What do you think about the Ferrari 360 Modena or Modena? No, it's Modena, right? It's a nice Ferrari as a first Ferrari. It's gotten really expensive now. When I got it, like in 2017, I paid $55,000 for my 360. That was a steal, very clean. It was a 2001 with like 20,000 miles. And I sold that in 2020 during COVID for like 75. And now I think that car is like 90, So it's expensive even getting a 360 now. But I would highly recommend, most people don't like stick, but the 360's F1 transmission really sucks, especially like day-to-day driving. If you want to just like drive around the neighborhood, that F1 transmission really sucks. Unless you're racing, it sucks. So I would highly recommend, if you can afford it, look for a 360 with a gated 6-speed. They're going to cost a little more like 6 figures, but it's well worth it. I really would love to get a gated Ferrari. Michael is asking about Blast. I've never heard of Blast before. Safe Blast? Like Safe Moon? 600,000 market cap? No thanks, Michael. Mazzaro, we've been getting hammered lately on price. When will it stop? It'll stop when you stop worrying about it. And then you'll realize, oh, it's back up again. George is okay. First of all, you don't need to put all caps and scream. Is Craig Wright the real Satoshi? No. Honestly, though, with all the hate around Craig, I think it's this. I think Bitcoin was created by a few people. Dave and this one other guy. Shoot, I forgot his name. I'm drawing a blank. But I think Bitcoin was created by two people, Dave and this other very famous guy. They both passed away, which is why they have never touched, the original Genesis wallet. And I think at some point they brought in Craig Wright to write the white paper. That's why Craig Wright knows the white paper so well, and he says it's Satoshi because I think he's part of the group. But now that the two others passed away, he's just like trying to take claim, but he doesn't have access to the Genesis wallet, which is the most important thing. Because if you really want to prove it and he has Genesis wallet, all he has to do is move one Bitcoin off. Then he could say, look I did it, right? But he can't do that. That's why I think maybe he is part of the team, but not the person that actually worked on it or had it. Maybe just got involved because of the white paper, something like that. 40 amp fuse, thank you for that. Hal, yeah, that's it. Hal Finney and Dave Kleeman, I think they're the architect behind Bitcoin. It makes the most sense for them, but unfortunately they both passed away. So, I mean, that's the reason why Bitcoin's Genesis wallet hasn't been touched. You could also think of it as a gift because you have 1 million plus Bitcoin that's locked in forever that no one will ever be able to access. So that's a gift to the world. Homestead said that's the best theories I've heard. Thank you. I try to put it together. I'm trying to give Craig some credit too. But, he just can't ever prove it definitively because he didn't have access to it. Do you think Myro will hit 2 billion market cap in 2 weeks? No. I mean, Bonk didn't even hit 2 billion in market cap. Can they hit a billion after, let's say, Binance and Coinbase listing? Yeah. But I think we're still a little far off from there. I don't think Myro is going to get listed until they hit like 300, 400 million. Then they will. But yeah, they're not going to hit 2 billion in 2 weeks. No, that's too soon. Pith, what could be the possible target? I'm not trying to downplay Pith, but I have seen other oracles gain a lot of strength before. Band Protocol was one in 2021. It climbed up just like Pith did, and everyone was getting excited that we have another Chainlink competitor, and then they died. Okay, so Pith, you gotta be careful. It's an oracle. It competes with Chainlink. People just don't realize that even though Pith is climbing the charts, in terms of usage, if there was a measurement and how many dApps and how many transactions and volume happens on Chainlink versus Pith, you know, you probably would never want to see that, because if you did, you would realize that it's like, I don't know, it's like a Ferrari racing against someone that's running on bare feet. I mean, that's the distance between how much usage there is on Chainlink versus Pyth. You know, so it's such a wide gap. But you know, of course, if there's more projects that adapt Pyth and they could prove themselves. Another important thing is, have they proven themselves? Chainlink has been, hackers have gone after Chainlink. They tried to take it down many, many times, and they survived every single time. That Oracle network that they have is really strong. I remember a couple times when hackers try to like denial service attack, DDoS attacks, and so forth, and they've never been hacked. So that's another thing too. Even if Pyth gets a ton of dApps, they have to prove themselves that they can survive anything. James just became a whole coiner, 16K ADA stacked on 1 year. Started DCA to other projects. Thanks for your help. What do you think? Well, becoming a whole coiner is always a good thing. It's a major accomplishment. So congrats. And 16,000 ADA. That sounds like a good amount. So that's like $8,000. Congrats. The large portions of ADA is being staked. I wish SNEC would come up a little bit. Cardano, you know, there's not a lot of volume, at least from the dApp side. I think their NFT side still has plenty of volume, but dApp side, it's pretty much SNEC and no one else. Maybe a little bit from Singularity, but yeah, just waiting for more things to happen on Cardano. Do I like first class or economy? Well, what kind of question is that? Once I started taking first class, I never stopped. Let's just put it that way. What do you think about ZK Fair, which is new legit 2 on Ethereum? Never heard of it. But I just know that there are a lot. There are a lot L2s. So I don't know how they're all differentiating themselves from one another. There are a lot. Besides the big ones, there's a lot of mid ones, a lot of small ones, and now new micro ones, and there's just so many all over. Why don't I ever talk about Crocoin? Because I don't like it. I never did, and I don't know if I'm ever going to change my mind on that. I'm hyped up about the potential need to mint more soft notes due to increasing merchant onboarding by Tectum. Would you consider exploring how this merchant adoption could affect the demand? I have no idea what soft notes are. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Something within Tectum, I guess, or Tectum. Next car auto. Fortune favors the brave. Famous last words by Matt Damon. How much is BlackRock about to buy? Well, they have 1.2 billion. That's just in their fund. Of course, they're not going to reveal their own private wallets, which could have billions in there already. I would not be surprised if Arkham, you know, Arkham is secretly looking at all these wallets and trying to put things together with their software. So they're the ones that detected that Coinbase has about 44 billion worth of Bitcoin to sell in the OTC market, and that could have diminished a lot already because there's a lot of outflows. But yeah, I'm waiting for Arkham to like one day say, well, these addresses belong to BlackRock, and in total they hold X amount of Bitcoin. I bet it's going to be a large number. So whatever I'm reporting now is just whatever they're throwing into their fund. But what they're holding outside of that, I mean, you already know BlackRock is one of the biggest holders of MicroStrategy and Coinbase and every major miner there is. So, I mean, they're really, really, really into Bitcoin already, right? That's not even counting all the secret Bitcoins they're holding. Get the new DeLorean. You know what? I want to actually get the original DeLorean. I think the original DeLorean looks awesome. I would never drive it around though, but it just looks awesome sitting there. When is Coinbase versus SEC's last day? I have no idea. It should be soon. It should be soon. Steven just said, just purchased the F430. Congratulations. That's a nice car. F430 is overlooked by many. The F1 transmission is better. It's impossible to get a gated F430. But it's 500 horsepower, plenty fast. So congrats. Would you buy Myro now or is it too late? It's never too late. Never too late. I've been mining XYO for 2 years. Do you have any info or opinion on it? You know, unfortunately, XYO kind of died because you have this other competitor called Honey now, which does the same thing, and it got listed on Coinbase. So basically allows people to map the roads. XYO was doing that. I think they may have changed and just became L1, but they were L1 that also helped. It was more like IoT devices and helps map the network, you know, map cities and stuff. So I don't know if XYO is going to come back. I mean, XYO is on Coinbase too, but they just lost all their momentum. So Honey may be the next one, but they're both really small. There's a chance that they both can come back up, of course. In the bull market, anything can happen. Hugh, just, okay. Because of your comment, you're getting banned on this channel. Don't make arrogant comments toward me. Can stacks do a 10x? Yes. Yes. Especially with Bitcoin getting hot with DeFi. I think stacks is going to be a powerhouse. I think stacks will do really well. They're at 2 billion. Can they do 20 billion by the end of 2025? Yeah. I think so. What happened to my leverage positions? You don't want to know. You don't want to know. I keep opening it up, but I think it's irresponsible to keep showing you guys what I opened up and getting liquidated. So yeah, most of them got liquidated. It's just you can't this kind of drop will liquidate anyone. Myro hit a 5 billion market cap at 2025. Tony, I don't know. You know, I just know this. There will be a next Sheeb, and Sheeb hit 40 billion, right? Like, Sheeb will hit 40 billion. I mean, Sheeb hit 40 billion, so can something else hit 40 billion? Yes. Even Sheeb is 5 billion now. But if you look at that market cap, they went above 40 billion. 43, 44. So can Bonk or Myro or Kulo or Cock, Can any one of them hit 40 billion in 2025? Sure. I just don't know which one, right? I don't know. But just look at how she went up like this, just like exponentially. Like it just went up straight moonshot. That's going to happen in 2025. It's going to happen in 2025. I just don't know which coin is going to happen to. But I do think Bonk is going to do well because it already hit $1 billion, right? And these other ones in Solana, like WIF and Myro, they will probably continue to do well unless one completely dies. Yeah, I'm hoping some of these other ones do well too. Like I'm hoping Sneck does well. I'm still rooting for them. Obviously the Avalanche ones like Cock, I still think it's the funniest meme out there. It's still hilarious to even say. I'm hoping they do well. Of course, I'm hoping Kulo does well on Polygon. Hoping they hit 40 billion. I hope everything hits 40 billion. Microfiber only. You buy it on Trader Joe. You have to use the DEX. If you go get into memes, don't rely on the sexes. It's nice to be able to buy a MEXC or wherever Coinbase, but if you want to get into these memes early, you have to learn how to use DEXs, man. You have to know how to use a wallet, like a browser-based wallet, and then you need to know how to use a DEX. If you don't know how to use those two things, honestly, you shouldn't even get into memes. At the very least, learn how to use your own wallet, transfer, whatever you need to in there, Sol, ETH, Poly, or AVAX, and then learn how to connect that wallet to a DEX and buy and swap, right? NMCT, thoughts on Reddit, Exodus wallet, buzzing with phone, how to... What are you talking about? Yeah, I know. Are you just asking about Exodus wallet? I've been, years ago, Exodus wallet had this vulnerability so that hackers can just take your funds. It has happened to me before. I don't know if that's what you're saying is happening now, but Exodus always had that problem. What hardware wallet? There's only two, Treasure or Ledger, right? You just pick one. But these days you don't. There's so many cold wallets that are very good. MetaMask, and then you got Trust Wallet, Coinbase Wallet. I mean, there's a lot of wallets. Arculus Wallet, Phantom Wallet. I mean, there's so many wallets out there. Jason, appreciate it. Do you think we will peak in 2024, not 2025? No, I think it's still going to be the same. I think we're going to peak in 2025. There's no reason to think we're not. Derek Kong, appreciate that. That's what I like to hear. Filecoin or Fetch AI? Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I would pick Fetch AI. They're smaller cap and they're a full-fledged L1 Filecoin, more in decentralized storage, although they want to be at L2. I don't know when that's gonna come out, but if I had to choose, Fetch AI. Is buying cock taxable event? Only if you make money from it. Delinister. I taught myself how to use a wallet and DEX due to your influence. Great. It's not that hard. I mean, honestly, it's not that hard. You download, if you're using Chrome or Brave, you download MetaMask onto it. Tells you to write down, start a new wallet, write down your recovery phrase, make sure you guard that with your life, right? Then you have an address. So all you have to do is send whatever ETH or Poly or AVAX or sold to it from another wallet or from a SEX. You send it to it, and that's it. It's holding it. You have a self-custody wallet, and you just go to wherever, like QuickSwap or Uniswap or wherever, and you connect your wallet, and boom, it's there. It's actually not that difficult, but if you don't even know how to do that, then you shouldn't be into memes, honestly. You need to at least know how to utilize your own wallet and transfer to it and so forth. Satoshi VM, I don't know anything about this project, man. I don't know anything about this project. I just know a lot of people keep talking about it and shilling it. So, to be honest, with a name that's called Satoshi VM, just turns me off. Catalyst for 2024, 2025. Not every election year is up. Hey, there's a big rate cut that's coming too. Fed rate is going to get cut. The very first one is going to be like mid of this year. And that's not going to be the only one. There's going to be multiple cuts. So the economy is going to do better. More money is going to be flowing around. Those are all great things. Coinbase winning its lawsuit against the SEC. Awesome. X coming out, their crypto payment platform. Awesome. There's a lot of catalysts for 2024. Do you add leverage to reduce liquidations or reopen on your leverage long? I usually just reopen. I don't add more liquidity. You could, but then the price stays the same. If you reopen more, as long as you use cross, not isolated, it will actually bring your average down. But again, you got to be careful when you do that. A lot of times when I do that, it's still like if it keeps cratering down, you're still going to get liquidated. But just be careful. Especially right now, volatility sucks. So liquidations happen really quick. Is Wave dead? It was never alive. Like, it's always been like a dead project. Their DEX is so weird. It's not even like a DEX. They use some kind of synthetic token in the background as placeholders or something when you're trading or swapping. Yeah, it was never good. I hate launch pads. Why? What do you think are the next 3 coins to pop off after this dip? Hey, just go with the basics, man. When this dip is over, when we get that short squeeze, the two that has been doing very well that I don't think is going to stop is Solana and Injective. Those are obvious choices. Obvious choices. But outside of them, I mean, there's so many others that are great. But those two have the most momentum. But I do think someone like Stacks is also very obvious because of how strong Bitcoin is. But a lot of the others too. AVAX, Poly, Say, Celestia, Immutable. They're all fantastic L1s, L2s. I think they're all going to come back. I have USDT, URC in my treasure. How can I buy Bitcoin without going to a centralized exchange? You can't. I don't think there's any DEX that allows you to. Maybe Rubik's. Yeah, I've used Rubik before. Rubik is a DEX aggregator, so they work with a ton of chains. But they don't support Bitcoin. Yeah, very, very little URC DEXs support Bitcoin. I don't know if there is one, but this one could do you could transfer between Ethereum Avalanche or Polygon and Arbitrum and everything in between, but not Bitcoin though. You can do wrap Bitcoin, but not Bitcoin itself. You have to go back to a sex. All right, guys. I think that's it. To conclude, stay strong. Don't be flooded out. Things happen. We go down sometimes. But what's happening is this. These big boys, they are buying. Who benefits the most when the market goes down? The people that are buying, right? Like you and I, and these giant big boys that continue to load up on Bitcoin. Don't let them take everything, okay? Make sure you buy some for yourself. HODL and DCA, that is the way. And I guess enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Let's see how today goes. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, 10:30 on Saturdays. And that's it. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and have a good day. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.